Friends, I love upcycling, and every little thing that I can upcycle gives me immense joy. Today, we will upcycle pistachio shells into this simple but beautiful artwork. What you need for this is two A4 sheets. You can even do it on one A4 sheet, but it becomes a bit too small. It's up to you. I prefer to do it, or if you have A3 paper, perfect. Right now I don't have A3 paper, so I'm going to glue two A4 sheets together to make them into A3. Then, of course, you need pistachio shells, which I have here saved in this little jar. I We also need a glue stick and liquid glue and some markers, preferably black or brown. I got black ones here, and poster colors. I have 5 different poster colors: yellow, blue, green, black, and red. You can use as many as you have, and of course a paintbrush. So first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to start right away and paint the pistachio shells. And what is going to happen with those pistachio shells is that once we have painted them, they are going to take a little bit of time to dry. So that is why before I start with anything else, I decided to paint the shells. So, okay, I forgot to mention we also need a glass of water to kind of wash the brushes and a cloth to wipe the brushes once we try to switch from one color to another. I have made this into 5 piles. I have 5 different colors, so I'm going to paint each pile of one color. So I start with yellow. One pile I will paint yellow. Also make sure you are wearing a not so good a t-shirt, clothes, so that you don't mess up your clothes. Okay, now I'm done with yellow. I'm washing the brush and I will wipe the brush dry and I will switch to a different color now. I'm switching to green. As we are not diluting the colors with water, we don't actually need to put them on a palette. I take it directly from the bottle because we are not diluting the colors or mixing the colors. In case you are mixing the colors, you are mixing 2 different colors to get a third color, then you will need a palette. And see that you put a paper or a cloth underneath so that you don't mess up the tea or table with all the paints. Okay, now again I change to wash the brush, dip my fingertips as well, they are green, and wipe it off. And now I will use a different color. My next color is blue. I kind of mix it up well so that you don't remain watery at the top. And the third pile is blue. Oh, okay, that's a full one. I'm not going to use that. Okay, you must be wondering what exactly I'm going to do with this pistachio shells. Okay, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to make them into little birds on a tree. So those two A4 papers is where you will draw your tree, your bare tree, and you will perch the birds made out of this pistachios onto that tree. So we will have an artwork with that artwork will consist of a tree with pistachio birds on it. Okay, I'm almost done with blue, and next is, okay, I have one more, I guess. That's done. I wash my brush again, dip my fingertips so that I can wipe them clean, and I clean them onto my towel. Okay, the next color I'm going to take is red. And here we go. We paint the red onto the pistachios. Your hands get a bit messy because these pistachio shells are too little, but if you wash them right away, it should be fine. Or perhaps I think using gloves also might help. And now we go to the third color. Again, I dip my fingertips to make them wet so that I can wipe it off. And here we go. Well, actually, if I dip them in water and wipe them, they are quite clean. So, and my last color is black. I actually have white also. I didn't use because my background will be white, so the white birds will kind of not show on the paper. So, yeah, if you happen to have a paper, you're using a colored paper, then you could use white because it will stand out. But I'm not using white because it's not going to stand out on my white background. Okay. I have finished painting all the pistachio shells, different colors. I will keep them aside to dry because they need a little bit of time to dry. I have closed all my watercolor, poster colors, so that they don't dry up. Kept the water out of sight. And now we are going to make use of the two A4 papers. I will, right now I don't have A3 size. If you have A3 size, perfect. If not, you can glue two A4 size papers together to make into an A3 paper. There you go. I have my paper ready. But having an A3 paper would be better. You will not have that joined mark in the middle. Now, what I am going to do is I take either a black or a brown color, poster color, sorry, a marker I mean, and I am going to draw a tree. You don't need it to be perfect, but yes, try to draw a tree as best as you can. You can see I am just starting with some scribbles. And we will need a lot of branches to help the birds perch on the tree. So if you don't have branches, the birds will not be able to perch on the tree or sit on the tree. So this is my main trunk, and now this is my first branch, and then I have another one sticking out of that, and another one sticking out there. And try to make the branches a bit horizontal so that you're giving the birds a chance to actually perch onto your tree. If they all go vertical up, they won't be able to perch onto your tree. And I have not drawn any leaves here because I want this the attention to go onto the birds rather than your leaves on the tree. But if you do want, you can make tiny ones here and there, not a whole load, just to give it a little bit of life. But You can use green color in case you want, or you can also make them black like I made. But don't make too many because we want the focus to be on the birds. Okay, so I think I'm done with the branches. Okay, so once this is done, I know this doesn't look like a perfect tree, but once you have the birds sitting on the tree and chirping away, you will have a beautiful artwork. So we'll wait for a few minutes for the pistachio shells to dry, and we'll continue with. Okay friends, if we want to quicken the drying process, what we can do is use a hair dryer and dry the pistachio shells. This will be a bit faster than letting it dry on its own, especially if you are in a hurry to finish your work. So I'm using the hair dryer here to dry out the pistachio shells. It is quick. Okay, now my pistachio shells have all dried up. I fastened the process by drying them with a hair dryer. Okay, and I have my tree here. I am going to glue these pistachio shells onto the tree, and I will see that they are standing up, or with a slight tilt you place them all around the tree, and if you think you don't have enough branches to let the birds sit on, you are the creator. You can still draw some more branches and let the birds perch onto those branches. So in between, if you think the branches are less, okay, just draw another one. And there you go, you have some branches for the birds to sit on. I'm arranging them first to make sure I have all the different colors around the paper. See, I'm not finding any more branches, so I will try to make something horizontal so that I have place for them to sit on. As I said, you can always add a branch. Stop putting more, and in fact instead start gluing them. So I will use I'm using liquid glue here to glue them. Now once we have finished sticking these pistachio shells onto the tree, we are going to turn these pistachio shells into birds. What we will do is we will give it a little bake and a little bit of a tail and the eye. But when you're doing that, maybe you won't be able to put an eye onto all because it may not be visible, but the yellow ones we can put. And a bit of tail. First we'll draw the tails because it's a bit wet, so it's difficult to draw the beaks, so we might wait for some time. And there we are done our pistachio shells artwork. Well, you go ahead and finish yours.